Alright guys, welcome back. This is the Redmi 9 Power. What specs does it have? I think a 48 megapixel camera. RAM?
Yes.
How much RAM?
4 GB.
4 GB? 64 internal. Alright. I think it's an alright phone for day-to-day needs. So anyway, we are taking it apart. SIM card tray removed, and I was just trying to see if I could use my nails to pry the cover open, but when I come around the bottom parts, the nail gives up. So anyway, we removed the lower part using surgical blade because it's kind of tougher, and yeah, so just like that, and then we bring it like this. Even the top part needs a pry, and such. Okay, surprisingly, it has also tough plastic, like you would find on the Samsung, but the Samsung one is much tougher. The Techno and Infinix is very light. My fingernail is just sufficient to unclip it from its lock mechanism. So that's the back. Be careful because it looks like the fingerprint is attached there. So now you unscrew this to release the fingerprint. Okay, my screwdriver is right here. So in essence, while we're doing this, we are actually tearing down this phone, virtually just opening it. It blacked out, so we need to get it to work, but before we get it to work, we need to reach where to work. Okay, so we'll go right away towards the bottom. Okay, well magnetized screw, and just try to use this magnet to keep them in one place. Is the screw the same length as the rest? So, yeah, it's actually. Yeah? You opened it?
For the first time.
Ah.
Yeah, that's why the other thing is the one which had the orange thing on the screw.
Yeah.
It was sealed. It was tough to open.
Sure.
It was all the way to fit it in.
Not in the back plastic, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying they used a tough plastic. Okay, that's out, and this is out. Okay, now I need to first take the reading of the battery voltage. Where's my multimeter? It was in that bag. Okay. Oh, by the way, you could hit the subscribe button if you're new here. More content. I have arranged my setup. The lighting is a bit better, less of the orange light, and so that's me saying expect more videos daily. And me, yeah, it was isn't that the 7?
This is 90.
Yeah, yeah. And I think I replaced that screen. I think either earlier on this week on Monday.
Exactly the same, except for a few things.
Just minor tweaks there. It's like when you land on a Techno that has the same motherboard as an Infinix. That's when I started accepting that.
Just clones.
Yeah. And when you find their batteries are shared. Okay, so I want to read the voltage across the battery. Okay, right now. Alright. Get 3.4. That is enough to be detected by the charging IC. But let me raise it to about 3.6. How fast that iPhone reached? 600 milliamperes. That's 41%. So it was at 9% when I put the thing on. That's 32%, representing 600 milliampere hour. So 100% would be how many milliampere hours?
Wait. What?
32 is equal to 640. 100 would be?
Times 3.
Yeah. Okay.
What times 3?
180. So the thing's capacity is still okay.
It's okay.
And this, I think, when I was buying it, it seemed like a joke, but now it's very
Where
practical.
did you buy it from?
AliExpress.
Yeah.
Because it will measure the current and you see the voltage, but then it does current, voltage, and time you've been charging it for. Because it has done 50 minutes to bring that amount of charge. So now I can just reset it back to 0, 0. No, you can.
Where do I put this one?
Let me put it here.
Yeah?
You put it there. And at times the clients come and grab the device and then start telling, man, I failed to get 5K. And he can't snatch it from his hand.
The battery is fine.
Yeah, the battery looks fine. But I just want to raise its voltage. So I'm plugging this end, put my USB into the multimeter, and at this end of the USB I'm going to plug it into my power supply to show you the source voltage, which is 5.8. Meanwhile, did I figure out which side was the positive terminal of the battery? Or is it even indicated? Because that could be another quick way of figuring it out. Okay, it's written here. Minus, then I, and then T, and then plus, so plus must be that, which in my case is this positive probe, this red probe. So put this right there onto that and this. Okay, so that reads the average of the battery voltage and that of the charge. Not necessarily like average, but you get the idea. Okay, so I think I'm going to give it for 5 watts for 5 minutes. It's drawing 2.46 amperes. Okay, that's how I know that this battery is charged, because I have a power meter between my USB and the charger. It's something maybe I'll show you some other day. But feel free to hit the subscribe button, and if you're new, this is Phone Lookout / Appeals Laboratory. Anyway, I don't know whether I can talk you guys through the 5 minutes, but I know it's a huge task. Okay, so I think people will be asking me, what do I need to be able to do repairs? I think there are about 3 fundamental things you need to have. 1, soldering gun. 2, solder. 3, screwdriver. But if you're able, you can actually improvise it from things that lie around. I've seen people who have actually opened their devices using knives to unscrew the screws, so it's something you can improvise. But soldering iron is a bit hard to improvise. But I've also seen people in the past use bicycle spokes, put them in hot charcoal, and then use it to melt solder. But that cannot help you with precision soldering, so you need a soldering gun. And then eventually you need a multimeter. That's something that can allow you to measure voltage, current, and resistance, because those properties of components help you determine whether they are dead or alive. For instance, if you are measuring a wire and the multimeter shows infinite resistance, that means it's broken at some point, because resistance of wire is usually very low. However, if it is a diode and then you measure it and it has the same resistance in both directions, it is dead, because it should have, a good working one should have infinite resistance in one direction and then a low resistance in the opposite direction. And also, if it beeps and shows a resistance value that is less than probably 50, it is shorted out, so it's dead. That's the same case with certain kinds of resistors, whereby they burn and short, or they become of infinite resistance. So that means you need to also understand the properties of the functioning component, and anything that is off suggests it's dead. It also helps you measure voltage. That means if you've plugged in power, you should expect a certain voltage at a certain point, and that is the multimeter. And then later on, you start finding other miscellaneous equipment that solve your time, like hot air gun. That's for changing ICs. Times you may need a hot plate, that's for ungluing screens from your devices, but with a soldering gun, screwdriver, solder, you're already able to make a significant amount of money, because the most popular problems are charging port, battery, and all that. Who's that?
Rogers, school trip guy.
Leave me alone. Alright, so now I don't know why teachers keep on condoning students overusing their phones. Back in my day, by the time you call home, hey, you even don't call to say that there's VD coming. If they have come, they have come. If they haven't, they haven't.
Just accept it. Actually, it is a surprise they would come at all. Once they drop and pick you, these are the important bits.
Right, so okay, and I think 5 minutes have elapsed, so let's disconnect the charger and measure the voltage across the battery. Alright, 3.6 as we had wished for. So we can now proceed with further troubleshooting, among which did you see any type C there? White in color? Oh. Thank you. So I want to plug in my charger right there, and then I'll plug this into the socket, and then see how it behaves. If it at least tries to give me any light. Nothing. Nothing. Like for real, nothing. Even my meter doesn't show any current being drawn. Hope it's not the power management IC. Alright. Anyway, I had this thing of Sony saying temperature every time I'm recording with the camera. That's the only thing that annoys me.
No fights, eh?
No, like the camera always has temperature warnings. When I had the Huawei P9, you could even record for 1.5 hours. Yeah, at 4K. Here I just do 1080p temperature of the sensor. Now you go to 4K. If you record for more than 5 minutes, count yourself blessed. I need to stress test that one. If that one does it, no, I think they're just being pathetic. Because even the other phones use the same image sensors that Sony makes. Why do they make it think like their image sensors in their devices are more prone to heat than other? The guy was trying to defend them. Sijui dropped frames, The other ones, what they do, if they were telling you they're recording at 120 frames per second, you analyze the latter frames of the video and they're like at 90. I'm like, man, I'd rather have footage than no footage. Eh? No, they give you what they've promised, but okay, let me attempt again. My prayer is that it is not the screen. It is as quiet as because there was no current being drawn. Okay, now what next? Okay, let me open and remove the lower subboard. Now we see what's truly going on here. Oh, but on that note, I would like to test on the other edge, and if power or voltage is reaching, and we'll put this into voltage mode right there. Okay, and having done that, I presume it must be these last two. Okay, I'm getting the 5 at the end of like if I plug in the charger in, the ribbon shows that it's actually delivering that 5 volts here. Now what happens after the 5 volts have entered the motherboard is the big question. Let's see if it comes out at this end of the charging port. We get nothing. So that's a bit of a weird thing. That means this is a main motherboard problem. Because if it is being supplied the 5 volts, I expect the charging IC in conjunction with the permanent IC to deliver me around 4.4 volts at that output. So I'm going to have to pick out this motherboard. But I think I also need to pick out this battery because I need to have more working room. So how do I do this? A and then B. Okay, I don't know whether I'm doing this right, but let me know how they. Okay. All right. So this is out. All right. I think then a B.
So what brand new looks like.
I know. Okay, this is of no use because we'll have to reset the adhesive, but I need to allow my fiber to be accessible. Okay, it's still sticky, so we'll take advantage of that when placing back the battery. That means the next person who would want to remove this battery will have to use heat. Condemned them to having to use heat. Alright, so I think as of now, I believe the tear down part is almost obvious. These other ones are also very easy to remove. So if you attempted to think this video hasn't been of help, it has. You can now access the main motherboard, but because I also don't want to touch my camera lenses, I'm going to remove them from my motherboard to allow me play with it as much as I am able without fear of blurring these camera lenses. But these boards look very similar. It's like as I'm unplugging these cameras, I'm remembering the other one. Exact same spots. Rebranding. So I'm sure if the tea came after, they just wanted to resell the ones.
Like 1 month after. The release date, a month after. December.
Reminds me of that thing manufacturers do, where they want to command the shelf. whereby, like, let's say if it is Coca-Cola, they know you always stock 20 of them. They'll be like, let us introduce Coke Zero. So that even if he reduces on the Cokes, he can bring like 15 and then brings 10 of the Coke Zero. In total, they now have 25 products as opposed to 20 on the shelf. I like, wait, even business has those things. Because you use the guy is selling, you're like, I need to have variety. So hey, okay. When you when you don't think certain things, they just seem innocent. The guy plays with your fear of someone coming to ask for another product and you don't have it, and yet you already know the demand of the previous one, so you're like, let me just look for more money and also stock the other product. To them, more sales. All right, I need to stash away these camera lenses in a safe, clean place. So I've just gotten some piece of paper, folded it, and this is going to help me keep those camera lenses safe and out of reach. So I think for the tear down part of the video, I think we are basically done, unless you really want me to talk you through. But basically with this, you're able to replace your battery, you're able to, assuming you needed to remove the screen, you just apply heat and this should come out from that side. This lower subboard is where the mouthpiece, speakers, charging port, and network antennas are located. So those also you'll access by simply unscrewing this. But anyway, just for the sake of the video, let me open it up so that you may see. Now in the next segment of the video is we are going to bring you, now you see I'm the first to perforate this screw, so meaning that this part has never been opened, and that's usually for warranty purposes. So in case you go claiming a warranty, they will be like, boss, you tampered with this device, we see our sticker has been adulterated and therefore we are not going to offer you warranty because we don't trust whoever tried to open this. So that's the vibrator, that's the microphone, the charging port, coaxial cable that brings network signals away from this board to the other main board, the contact points of the antennas. Yeah, so times you could replace that entire board. If you're a serious guy, you can replace the mic. And this is just under that board. Once you've lifted the board, it is replaceable. The loudspeaker is attached on this upper plastic. Yeah, but lately I rarely encounter loudspeaker death, except in events of probably water, excessive heat, but it's a rare case. So I'm not going to put all the screws because I am still working with the phone, but now that I've stashed the cameras away, let me also stash away the screws such that I'm able to find them when I need them, and just take advantage of the same location by making sure they don't touch. Okay, all right, now talk to me, motherboard. But now because we are trying to trace charging, I think I'm going to stop this video and start another.